that celebrate redemption. How many can name the 3 holidays that celebrate redemption? How many can name those? Really quick. How many? Nobody yell at crickets tonight. All right, come on, guys. Come on. This is Purim. Wake up. If that didn't get you going, if Celeste up here doing the didn't get you going, well, they have Ice Joe down the street for sale for 99 cents. Get yourself a couple cups and get that going, okay? But there are 3 holidays that celebrate redemption.
Is it Pesach, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot?
Yom Kippur, no. But, yeah, I mean, it does to a degree. But Pesach, yes. Okay. What else? Huh? Purim, yes. Purim's one of those. Yeah, it's easy. We're there on it. What's the other one? We just passed it.
Shavuot.
No. Too far back. Hanukkah. There you go. Yes. Yes. There you go. Chanukah. Yes. In each of these, in 2 of them, we were under occupation, and in 2 of those we completely left. We were out of there. We had nothing to do with the Pharaoh. In Hanukkah, we had nothing to do with the Greeks after that moment. The only one that we remained sort of in occupation with is Purim. That's why it's considered a partial redemption. But let me go into it a little bit. In Passover, we celebrate redemption from the time about what? Slavery, right? We're redeemed from slavery. In Hanukkah, we're redeemed from the invasion of the peace, and we're redeemed from abuse, right? Because we were abused, we were belittled, just continued on in that kind of thing. And it happened in Israel, in the Holy of Holies, this abuse, this mistreatment. But we recovered by finding pure oil. We found, and through Matisyahu, we found pure worship, pure reverence for Hashem, and we re-entered through that means. And then during Purim, we are redeemed from genocide. People who want to kill us. Let's be honest. The Jews walking around being Jews during Haman's time, he didn't care if they were being Jewish or not. He wanted to kill them for the fact that they were Jewish, right? It didn't matter to him if you were observant or if you were non-observant. So what has changed between then and now? What has changed? Can we still at any time become subject to slavery of some form or another?
Yes.
Can we still at some point in our lives, our walk with Elohim, can we still become victims of abuse? No? Somebody said no out there. Well, good for you, Noah. Good for you. Easy. We've already had 1 fall tonight. Let's not make it 2. Okay? All right? All right, God bless sister. She was a trooper for that. That's mine. This is yours. Here you go. All right? But it's not fear of becoming slaves that we give into. It's not fear of being abused that we give in. Even though the land of Israel today is surrounded by people who would rather it be pushed into the sea. We do not live by the fear, but we live by the trust in Hashem and trust for us as Messianics in the one who Hashem has sent as our salvation. This is how we live, and the rabbis say that every time we observe these holidays specifically, it is like building up our resistance to the intolerance, to the slavery, to the abuse of the world, so that we can continue to walk forward as children of God. For you and I, we have been called to be His people. Amen?
Amen.
Y'all are quiet tonight. If y'all aren't His people, just stay quiet, okay? Just right there where you're at.
Hallelujah.
But we have been called to be His people. Amen?
Amen.
All right. I think one person stayed quiet. That's okay. We won't hold it against it. But being Yehudim, being believers, being followers of the Mashiach, we are right there to where we could become enslaved physically, mentally, spiritually. And you see a lot of people, and there's 1,000 internet gurus out there. Thousands of them. They have the latest, greatest way to worship God in some sort of flavor that's near and dear to you. But that doesn't mean it's kosher. That doesn't mean it's kosher. Right? So for you and I, Mordecai set out a thing. This is how we should observe this time period. Later, Madasyahu and the guys from Hanukkah, they set out that this is how we should observe this. And we see Yeshua observing it. But you and I, the observance of our holidays, this ingrains us with the faith of knowing that no matter the thing that we happen to be facing, whether it be slavery or something you may or may not be addicted to, whether it be abuse from somebody or something, no matter what you're going through or what you will endure, God is there and He is willing to quickly and certainly answer you.
Amen.
And it is this assurance, this ani ma'amim, this knowing with all certainty that you are a child of God, that you are chosen by the Creator, that you are purposed, that you're not a mistake, and that the gifts and calling of God are irrevocable, that He is not going to call you to do something and say, oh, I'm just kidding. But He placed this in you. He designed this for you. And just like the observance of Hadassah and the lesson of Haman. Thank you. You and I also, still in this day, have our choice to make. Let it be that we are like Esther and Mordecai, and that we are standing up, that we are shown to be accountable and standing for doing what is right in the sight of Elohim.
Amen.
Well, let me get ready to close because I know we have other things to do. Every time we observe the holidays, it's like almost like a vaccination for you and I.
Amen.
It builds up our immunity to the ignorance. It builds up our immunity to slavery. It builds up our immunity to abuse. It builds up to where you and I can stand for the things of God in the face of gossip. We can stand for the things of God in the face of nonsense. We can stand for the things of God in the face of being politically correct. Let us be God correct. Forget politically correct.
Amen.
In Esther 5:1, and I think it was brother that read Esther 5. Esther clothed herself in malchut, in majesty. A simple way to say this, the rabbis say, is that she took, when she went forth to go before the king, she took the favor of God with her.
Amen.
Which means she wasn't thinking that God might be with her. She wasn't guessing if he was or wasn't. She wasn't trying, oh, well, I don't know if he actually did call me. Maybe, because brother doubts it, maybe it might not be true. She went with the favor of God, with knowing with all certainty that this was for her to do. This was her calling. So I encourage you this evening, just like Hadassah, Esther, go forth in all certainty. Go forth in all certainty. Don't spend time listening to the naysayers. There's going to be Hamans all around your life. There's going to be people that doubt, that don't know that it doesn't matter. God sent his only begotten Son. God sent his salvation for you and I. God sent his living Torah
Amen.
for you and I.
Hallelujah.
So let's choose to walk with all certainty, in confidence, in his Torah,
Amen.
from this day and every day thereafter. Don't spend time with nonsense, but walk boldly as Esther and Mordecai, in the face of Haman, in the face of kings. Walk boldly, for his goodness and his namesake is upon your life.